So, um, let's go. Before we get started, we always got to have a fun fact. A fun fact, right? So, did you guys know that Neo, y'all know Neo, wrote the song from Mario, "Let Me Love You"? Did you know that Neo wrote that? Amongst everybody, a lot of other people's songs, but just Mario. No, you didn't know that. Now Mario gets on stage, and when they ask him about the song, he says that he wrote the song. In fact, Neo actually wrote it. So, right, he gets on there. He's like, "Yeah, I wrote the song," and then you're like, "Neo really wrote it." Neo wrote a lot of songs. He wrote Beyonce's "Irresistible." He wrote I can't. I'm gonna have a brain mental little fart, but he wrote a lot of people's songs. You can look it up. Neo's Behind the Music. If you guys ever get a chance to check it out, check it out. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, Neo and the Dream. Neo and the Dream wrote a lot of people's music. So yeah, I rock with Neo the long way. All right, so without further ado, we're gonna get our guest up here so we can get the show going, everybody.
Hi,
Nikki. Hello, what's up?
I'm good. How are you?
Look
I'm
at you in here looking like an R&B artist, you know?
I'm trying. I try, but they did look good back in the day. I had to watch some videos. I was like, I'm gonna try some of them outfits out.
I feel it. I feel it. So, introduce yourself to everybody.
My name is Lovely Lydia. I'm a streamer on here. I've been streaming for like a year. I'm also new to singing, so I don't know necessarily if I'm R&B necessarily, but I do like dabble there. Thank you. And I just, I love like the culture on Tagalog. I've made a lot of friends on here, including Mir. So it's just nice to be on the show.
And this was already planned, so I have to run it back because I do have a few people that were interested in being on today, but they weren't able to make it. So I was trying to pair you with a bunch of different people, a guy, a girl, some other. We was gonna have like an R&B showdown in here, so we're gonna have to run that back a few weeks from now for
Yeah,
sure.
definitely.
Um, so you said so you said that you sing and everything. When did you start singing?
I started singing when I was in church when I was little, and then I just was in church. I was in the youth choir and the mass choir, and then after like I don't know, like after we stopped going to that particular church, I never really sang. And then I just started singing again last year. I started writing music just randomly, and they're like love songs. So I feel like that's why I said it's like R&B.
Okay, you're gonna love. The I just feel like in order to write a good R&B song, you either got to be in love or you got to be hurt. So
It's gotta be
I don't know. I don't know. I just feel like you can't. You're not a good R&B artist if you ain't hurt or in love.
Yeah, definitely. All of the songs seem to be about like a story. Like back in the day, they were like about a story about a heartbreak, and usually they didn't name the person, but it was a particular person. But I feel like nowadays it's not like I don't know. I feel like they don't explain it as much, like what happened or when your heart got broken. It's more
Right.
just
Back in the day, they'd do like, this is part one, this is part two, this is part three. We're gonna continue going on. Like Mr. Biggs and R. Kelly, that was going on forever.
yeah.
Um, can you remember the first song that spoke to your soul?
Don't go chasing waterfalls. Like, I'm like,
That
I
was
didn't know what it meant, but if you listen to them lyrics for real, you just like, yeah. Like, it's true. Don't go chasing people. Don't chase anybody, first of all, but also, like, you could stick to what you know and like you'll have like the right people come to you. Like if you listen to the lyrics, I'm a lyrical person. Like I if you listen to the lyrics of that song, I fell in love with it. And I was asking my mom lots of questions about it.
definitely one thing. The lyrics are always overlooked a lot of times. people really be giving messages in the lyrics, and people they get into the beat, they hear the words, but they're not like listening to the words. They hear them but they're not listening,
Yeah.
and sometimes it takes you to listen to a song over and over again. And I've listened to songs recently and been like, man, I've been listening to this song my whole life and never really listened to what they were saying you know
Hmm. Yeah.
so I know for sure that that happens. Like you'd be sitting there and like, what? Wait, rewind that back. What are you saying?
Right.
Like I've been listening to this song for 10 years and I never know that that's what he was talking about.
I feel like it's like that thing, like when you buy a car, like I don't know if you ever heard, like when you buy a car, you see the car everywhere. Like when you're going through something or you went through something, I feel like you could hear that hurt in that person's voice in that song. You know what I mean? Like you're like, dang, I went through that. That's how I feel. Maturity,
Hey,
basically.
all right. So, sis, what's your go-to? It's not a question, but what's your like go-to song when you're like hurt? And please answer in the chat as well. I know you guys have a song. You like sad. You got what's the go-to song?
Like an older song,
It
my
don't
older
matter. It don't even matter. What song? It could came out yesterday.
I like Heartbreak Anniversary. The way Giveon, I don't know if he's like, is he R&B? He is R&B. The way he broke that down, that's my song. I love that song. And then older one would be "Cause I Love You" by Lenny Williams, because that man in that song, he was hurt. He was real hurt. Like I want, I mean, like if you gonna be hurt, that's how you need to hurt. Sing it like that.
I
You
feel it.
know,
Okay, you guys got some good ones in the chat
go
too.
like by Cameo.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I'm back.
Look, royalty. It's the single life. You be ready to. It's already on to the next, huh? The whole album, yes. All right.
Dang.
So this is two part. Who do you feel was the most dominant female of the '90s?
I mean, is it? I feel like it was Mariah Carey. I really do.
India. Did you know that Neo wrote that song? Neo wrote that song, India. So Beyonce don't deserve credit.
They don't deserve credit.
All
Mariah Carey.
right. So you said Mariah. Hmm.
Is she 80s? Hold on. Let me get my decades together. I
Now,
think,
I
yeah,
know
I think
it
it's
doesn't
Mariah.
matter when they start. It doesn't matter when they started. It's like who do you feel was the took over
I
for
feel
the
like it was
'90s? We're talking
Mariah.
the '90s, not the 2000s. The '90s.
Right, because Keisha Cole was like 2006. Right. It would have been Aaliyah. Yeah, that's right. That's right. But then Mariah is her, she kind of took over because she could switch it up. She can make a sexy song. She can make a sensual song. I think that's what it's about with R&B. Like if you can make all of the types, because some people can only make heartbreak songs. That means that your heart has to be broken to make a good song. Or some people can only make a good sex song. That means your sex life has to be going good at the time to make that song.
Uh, so all right. So that's female. What about male for the '90s?
I don't think nobody gonna like my answer. I don't
Uh,
know. I feel like it'll be R. Kelly. Like he ran it. Everybody loved R. Kelly. But is he 90s or 2000s? I don't know.
it's just the era thing. It's an era thing. You got to think. That's when he was like hot. He was hot in the '90s. He wouldn't have been nothing in the 2000s if he didn't start in the '90s. So
You couldn't pull up to a
um,
gas station. You couldn't do
we just don't want to talk about R. Kelly because of the things that he's done recently. We can't take away his music catalog.
No, you
You know what I'm
can't.
saying? Like we can't deny it. Some of us was probably made to R. Kelly up in here. You know what I'm saying? So we can't really just be like, oh, none of his music counts, wipe it off the earth. It doesn't matter. And he's getting his own catalog. Like even though he's in jail, he's gonna own his own catalog. So you
Oh,
know,
okay.
yes. Well, even though he's a bad guy, I guess. He's still gonna
He
have his
made
own
mistakes.
thing.
He made
Usher's
mistakes.
good. I like Usher. All right, what about group wise? You feel like one group just completely took over for the '90s. There's so many artists that and they all have their little errors. So Jagged Edge, Drew
Yeah, I
Hill,
was gonna say,
TLC.
who was that? Blackstreet. I know they weren't big, but all the Blackstreet songs are addicting. Okay, I love Blackstreet, and they could have made it farther. What happened to them? Did they? I think they broke up or something. My mom said, but something happened to them. I
Yeah,
love Black.
Blackstreet.
Let's
Y'all forgetting Boys the Men.
boys.
You
Oh,
know,
boys to men too, but their songs, like some of their songs, to me, I
just
love
a
boys to men. They're
nod.
about.
Yeah.
I love Blackstreet. That's what I'm gonna say.
112. It's the 112. I like one. I was just thinking about 112 the other day. I was
Well,
thinking
yeah,
listening to 112 in school. I remember getting in trouble because they had a song where it was like all the ladies wearing strings, clap your hands. And I remember I was singing that in the class, and my teacher was like, "What?
yeah.
What are you singing?" I hella got in trouble.
What you
Hella
know
got
about
in
that?
trouble.
What you know about
That
that?
was the fun. Look, we were going to the skating ring. I remember Jagged Edge, where the party at was hot at that time. 112. We in the what are we doing in sixth, seventh grade talking about peaches and cream? What do we know about peaches and cream? You know what I'm saying? We don't know nothing about none of that. Getting in trouble.
It was addicting. That Peaches and Cream song, y'all gonna be singing that later. That's gonna
Uh-huh.
get stuck in
Peaches
your
and cream
ear.
for sure. Some songs can't never die, it don't even matter. You can play it anytime. All right. Who do you think cried the most or begged the most in songs?
Usher, because he kept messing up. Apparently, I mean, he just. I feel like Usher was going through it like every other song. I was born in '93. My favorite. Yeah, I was born in '95, so it's like you know.
Man, who let the dogs out? I feel it. The number one answer would be Keith Sweat. Keith Sweat invented the beg, cry, or he invented that. Like that was his thing. Nobody begged more than Keith Sweat. Nobody cried more than Keith Sweat. So great artists. Great artists definitely inspired pretty much everybody. Anytime somebody was on their knees sliding around in the rain, you gotta think of Keith Sweat. He was the one doing that first. Oh
Right.
yeah, Carlton. Brian McKnight. Oh yeah, Brian McKnight for sure. My mama would listen to Brian McKnight, Babyface. My sister loved Babyface. I was like, turn that off. I don't like trying to hear no Babyface. You know.
I didn't really listen to Babyface.
Really? Okay. Okay. You don't
Um,
know you how I don't really want to ask you how old you are. What year was you born?
I was born in '95. I'm 28.
All right. That's all we need to know. We don't ask women age. I might ask you what year you was born. I'll ask you your exact age. All right. You guys ready for another fun fact? This is I feel like this is everybody's boo, everybody's girl, but she's mostly mine. So we could share it, but I'm number one. Just to let y'all know. Rihanna, right? Do you know that both of Rihanna's legs are insured for $1 million?
She do got
Just
some.
her legs. Just her legs. Her legs have insurance policies on them. $1 million a piece. Why would her legs have an insurance policy? Because you see, the Megan knees before Megan the Stallion, you know. hmm
Gotta keep them
And
protected.
also, she was so popular at one time. Her song "Umbrella," you couldn't bring an umbrella to none of her concerts because at one time she had a concert where everybody brought umbrellas and the whole arena had umbrellas. People was hitting people with umbrellas, eyes getting poked, and all those different type of things. So
Umbrella wars.
banned. Umbrellas were banned from her concerts.
I'm dead.
Umbrella sales went up because of Rihanna, y'all. You don't even own an umbrella, but you went and got one because of Rihanna. You know what I'm saying? But you didn't just go get any one. You didn't go get that little one. Y'all was getting the big ones. You know what I'm saying?
Family size.
Yeah, you was trying to fit you and your boo underneath than
Under that
umbrella.
umbrella. Right.
All right. So something that's popular today is the versus battles, right? We'll start off with who was your favorite verse that you've seen?
Oh, I don't think. I think I like the one. I don't know which one did. Like I think LL Cool J. One of the like older ones, like Ja Rule or someone did one. I thought it was nice, but I really don't. Aren't they on YouTube? I didn't watch a lot of them, but I watched two or three of them, and I thought some of like the old heads did way better than like the people that were kind of newer. So I didn't. I don't know. I didn't have nobody that I preferred over anybody.
Brandy Monica, that was everybody's favorite because they was hyping that one up. They was like, if Monica wear these shoes, it's a wrap. Like,
No, it wasn't Brandy.
so for me, I didn't really have like a favorite R&B one. I kind of like, I was more on the West Coast when Too Short and E40 was doing theirs. That was kind of one of my favorites because it's the West Side, baby. You know, um, but a few verses that we haven't seen. You know, Ray J. Who I mean, Ray J don't really got that much range to me, so he could have. He could have skipped that one. That verse was kind of crazy. That
Yeah,
verse
I
was
didn't
pretty
see that
crazy.
one. I'm gonna have to go watch them now.
Yeah, you got. Did you see the one with Ray J?
No, I did not see the one. I heard people talking about it, like replying to them on like TikTok and or Instagram, but like I didn't like actually watch them.
Oh yeah, if you go back and watch that, you're gonna be laughing for days.
I'm watch them.
Oh yeah, he definitely did. All right, this one is about since we were talking about the verses with Ray J. What do you feel about Omarion?
Well, um, Omarion. I mean, he didn't really have a lot of like. I mean, he had one good song. I I don't think he had a great voice, possibly.
Yeah, this is the overrated, underrated kind of thing. Like Omarion's overrated for sure.
Yeah, I think he's way overrated.
All right,
Way overrated.
so McGill.
He's underrated. I don't feel like Miguel had his spotlight. I love Miguel. I love him.
All right, McGill. Mario.
Underrated because you should let me love you. We should still be playing that. Nobody be playing it that much no more.
That's because Neo wrote it. He shut that down.
He was what?
Neo shut that down. He said, if y'all ain't paying me, don't play it.
You should let me love you.
I'm just messing around.
I was thinking that's my song.
If you ain't paying, I ain't playing. You know what I'm saying?
I'm so
Pay to
sorry.
play, pay to play. You know what I'm saying? All right, LMA.
I think she's underrated.
All right,
I love her.
Kalani.
What? Who is
Hello.
Kalani?
Do you
LMA.
listen to Kalani? Have you heard some of her music?
I think she's featured in a song I heard, but I haven't specifically listened to Kalani. I'm sorry for those out there that love her.
Okay, okay. Now we have SZA.
I think she's underrated because yeah, she's underrated. She's amazing. Her voice range is
That's
amazing.
everybody's side chick right there.
Yeah, people just didn't like her because that song that our man is art. People stopped liking her. They're like, no, she trying to make stuff sound okay. No, she's not. You gotta listen.
See, the thing about that is like y'all be sharing niggas. Oh, y'all be sharing dudes anyway. Excuse me, get kicked off of my own show. Y'all be sharing dudes, and dudes be sharing women. Girls be sharing guys, but they don't want it put out there as they doing it. You know what I'm saying? Like they don't want it saying like this is what we're doing. They want to just do it, you know.
Right. Right. Nobody wants to hear the truth, you know.
Right. All right. The Weekend.
He's overrated.
You don't like The Weekend?
Nope.
Okay. Okay.
I like one song, and that's just because I like the movie.
Oh, 50 Shades.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Y'all know what time she on, y'all. She like the 50 Shades song. Mm-hmm. All right. Anybody you guys feel in the comments that is overrated or underrated that we did not talk about?
You can say Giveon, and he's underrated.
I'm getting to the new people for sure.
That's my favorite.
Brent Fayez, Giveon,
Brent
Was
Fayez.
it P Walker or P what's the name? P Runner, you know? For sure. It's a lot of people. Khalid, Jasmine Sullivan, definitely. I love Jasmine Sullivan.
Love her.
I don't listen to her music. I love her. You know what I mean? Like she, just give her a award. Just give her a award. You know,
For being
she's
her.
definitely underrated. All right, you guys ready for another fun fact? Aaliyah and Missy Elliott, right? They both had a bet going on who was gonna wear a dress first. Did you believe that? Now you think of both of their styles, they never wear dresses. So who you think won? What? Right. Missy Elliott and Aaliyah had a bet going on who would wear a dress first.
That's a tough
That was a tough one, huh?
one.
Well, Missy Elliott won, guys, because Aaliyah had to put a dress on. You know, she had to put one on first. She would even go to when they were doing the awards back in the day where they were present awards and normally the woman wore a dress or something. Nah, she was up there with her bandana on, her leather and stuff. But one time she wore a dress, so she actually lost. But I think it said it took years. They were really going at it for years about that. All right.
That's cute.
Who do you feel is today's king of R&B?
Oh, like King of R&B. I feel like it's because he doesn't do R&B a lot anymore, but Usher is still like, he still makes songs, but I don't know. Then
I,
Chris,
I know,
Chris
I
Brown
know.
is a
India is
rapper.
definitely going to say Usher versus Chris Brown. We had a big thing about that. I think last year about Usher versus Chris Brown, but they're not in it, man. Usher's not in it. We'll say Usher's not in it. Chris Brown could be in it. Usher's not in it.
Okay, so if Usher's not in it, is it someone we already said?
No, you actually haven't said his name yet. Nobody said his name yet. I was gonna do him on the rated, overrated, or underrated, but then I wanted to leave it kind of a little mystery of his name.
Well, you know who was underrated? Jay Holiday. Did somebody say Jay Holiday? He was underrated. I'm sorry, but anyway,
Jay Holiday. I like Jay Holiday.
I love him. He was way underrated. Um, I feel like the king of R&B today would be Trey Songz. That's the only person it could be.
Okay.
Yeah, Drake would be rap. That's why I was gonna say Drake because he could sing, kind of.
It's funny how Trey Songz got his name, you guys. Trey Songz actually got his name because he would hand out demo tapes, and it said Trey's songs on it. That's how he got his name.
And people just started calling him that.
Right. That was
That's
his name.
cute.
Trey Songs. Crazy,
Easy.
right? Easy, right? Bam. Got your name. $1 million name. All he did was spell songs differently.
But
All
Trey
right.
Songz,
So the king of R&B today, they say, is Jacquees.
Who say?
That is
Who say though?
Jacquees
Well,
over Chris Brown.
we gonna have to go with Chris Brown on that one then, cause they tripping. I don't know Jacquees. I don't know his music that well. I hear it and I won't switch it because it has nice melodies, but I don't
Look,
think.
royalty. We know that Jacquees is today's Keith Sweat. We know that. Um, so the thing is, they're putting Chris Brown in the era with the older folks, as Lovely said, the old heads. She called them old heads. Chris Brown is with the old heads, right? So Jacquees is in now. He's the king of R&B right now. Is that what I'm saying? No, but that is what votes and people are saying. That's a hard pass. It's the new baby. Yep. So
Interesting.
y'all not rocking with that one. Y'all gonna say Chris Brown. Y'all voting Chris Brown.
Yeah, we gotta switch that one.
All right.
Yeah.
So since we're talking about the king, who is the queen? Are we just gonna go with Beyonce? Or we're just gonna say Beyonce is the queen and leave it alone?
She don't really do. She does a lot of other music. To be the king or queen of something, I feel like you predominantly have to do that type of music. So I feel like the queen of R&B right now. What's that girl's name? I think that Nuni Long, 'cause she keeps putting out love songs. Oh no, no, not Nuni Long. What's that? Janae Aiku. She is the queen of R&B. Janae, or no, Jean. How do you say it?
Yeah, you said it, Janae.
Janae.
Janae AOK. Ayoko.
Okay. Yes, yes. She is the queen.
Okay, that's the first time I heard Janae. Okay, so we got Summer Walker, Scissor, her, Janae.
Yeah.
Okay, those are some good ones. Those are some good ones. We're gonna have to chronicle this though to see who they feel is the queen right now because they don't really have when you do research on it. They don't really have like a who's the queen now. It's kind of like the title is up for grabs right now. But they definitely have Scissor, Summer Walker, and hers on the list. Janae, I didn't see on the list. It's the Megan Thee Stallion. At this point, huh? You know. All right. So, what R&B artists do you feel had the most features in the 2000s?
I feel like Keisha Cole was on everybody's song. She even like Keisha Cole feet was featured, and she was better when she was featured. Am I wrong? I don't feel like.
Yeah, I love I met Keisha Cole one time in Vegas, and I got tackled by her security guards because I was too close. If you guys been to Vegas before, when you walk up and down the strip, they sell these frozen lemonades, right, with alcohol. So I had got me a little frozen lemonade. I turned to the left and was like, "Oh my God, you're Keisha Cole." But I stuttered, y'all. Okay, some people have stuttering problems. I got shocked. I stuttered. It was early 2000s. So I was shocked. I seen Keisha Cole. I stuttered. Was like, you're Keisha Cole," and I was like, "Can I get a hug?" And I tried to hug her, and her security tackled me right there on Vegas Strip.
Dang, they didn't have to do you like
It was
that.
it was worth it. I'm a big dude. I'm a big dude. I think it was about three guys. Yeah, I think it was like three dudes. And she was like, "Let him up." But
Oh,
yeah, memorable. You know what I'm saying? I feel like the same like for people with Michael Jackson. Michael Jackson is the only person I know that had men and women passing out. You know, you got a
yeah,
grown man fainting.
yes, yes. I have someone in my live right now. Like he has like a book by Michael Jackson, and it was like it's like just pictures, no articles really, but just pictures of him on stage. And one of the pictures has like ambulances lined across the parking lot. I was like, why were there ambulances? So I asked my mom. My mom was like, please. the videos. Then people were fainting like sheep. I was like, what?
Your mom is lit.
I
That's
couldn't
funny.
believe it.
Well, I've seen I work a lot of like concerts and stuff, and I've seen people passing out from artists, and it's crazy,
I never seen that before or felt that. I've never really been to like I've been to Taylor Swift concert and a little mix up
You know what,
concert.
chill. That is on the list. That's two questions from now, but we could say it now. Okay, the one hit wonder,
The one hit wonder in the 2000s.
the most memorable one hit wonder. That's the next three questions. The one hit wonder.
I feel like that I should have waited to say Jay Holiday because that's my boo. And that bed song, I feel like he hit and then like suffocate, like did like a little ding, but like it was the one hit because he really didn't do numbers with suffocate really. So
You know what, royalty? I don't even know who that is. That's how I know it's a one hit wonder.
who? Sunshine by
Yeah, who is that? Who is that? I'm gonna have to look it up now. Make sure you DM me that name so I don't forget to look it up.
heard that before at all.
She from Charlotte. I feel it. So the three people that had the most features during the 2000s are T Pain, Keisha Cole, and Usher.
Hmm.
Hmm. Now you guys know T Pain, rapper turned singer. You know, don't forget it. You can't count T Pain out, right? And it's very popular. That it's funny because T Pain and Usher are both on the list. Usher told T Pain that he messed up music.
He told him that.
He told him that they were on a flight together, and Usher told T Pain that he single handedly messed up music.
Wow. I mean,
Now, do I agree? Well, I feel like music is always developing. And the thing is that the style that T Pain was using isn't a new style. You know what I'm saying? He was using the style that Zapp Rogers and all these other artists have used before, but because you take something that nobody else is using and you elevate it, why do you feel like you messed up music? What it is that you made your sound the only sound that's relevant, you know? And then what do you hear? You hear everybody doing auto tune. Even Usher was doing auto tune. How can you tell somebody that they messed up music with auto tune and then you turn around and use it? You know,
that's hypocritical.
for sure. What's up, everybody? I'm 6'5" Mirror. Welcome to How Times Change. This is an in-depth dive into social norms and different chronicles stuff a long time. Past, present, future, technology, music, pop culture, etc., etc., etc. And we got lovely Lydia right here. You know what I'm saying? Future R&B artist on the come up. Y'all gonna see her on social media soon. Doing the music videos and everything. So make sure you guys hit it with a fave. We're talking R&B, R&B. So, all right, we got the one hit wonders out the way, right?
Right.
Now, you guys love a good song, right? Who has the best love song?
I would have to say Usher. I just have to say. Oh, who said Usher? Okay. Yes, Usher.
Beyonce and Justin Timberlake. I know exactly which song you talking about too. And funny thing, my little brother, I remember he cried, and I was like, "Why are you crying, bro? Like, this song is beautiful. I will forever make fun of you for crying when this song plays." Like, yeah,
I
that
mean,
song is definitely touching and emotional for sure, for sure. Usher definitely. I don't really have in the time definitely. I don't really have one per se. Um, Yeah, I just have to feel the moment, to pick a song. I just have to think of some R&B and I'm gonna go hone in on one person. But I'm not gonna I can't think of a song right off the top of my head.
I think There Goes My Baby by Usher is the most romantic song a man, I shouldn't be telling people this, but it's the most romantic song a man could dedicate to a woman. Like, there goes my baby. Like, what? You know? It has every compliment in it, it has everything in it. It's just amazing. And if somebody hears that and, like, I just love that song. It's an amazing song.
I
And here
feel
I
it.
stand. Oh my God, I forgot about that one. But I still have to go with There's My Baby.
I like a lot of newer artists. So if I want to get, I want you to know that you mean a lot to me. So I'm gonna compare you to a drug. You know what I'm saying? So I'm gonna play like Joe Green, love song. If you guys ain't heard it, go look it up. Or I might play Brent Fires Rehab. You know what I'm saying? Like I want you to know that there's nothing stronger than a crack addiction. It had everybody in the '80s. You know what I'm saying? In an uprise. So if if I want to describe my feelings for you, I'm gonna compare you to drugs. I want you to be like drugs to me. You know what I'm saying? And I'm being serious as hell. You know what I'm saying? Like there's no like I want to be addicted to you like drugs. Yep, drugs is crazy, chocolate. Drugs is crazy. Drugs are crazy. Don't do drugs, but the feeling of addiction to a person is real. You know.
Mhm. You met nobody crazier than a crackhead.
Hey man, shout out to the Tauruses. I guess we toxic. Um,
Oh goodness. Yeah. I mean,
it's it's the comments for me. Y'all wild.
I know I'm trying to keep up. I'm so
Y'all
addicted to
wild. Y'all
you.
wild for sure. Um, let's talk about this guy right here. All right, so famous artist. Um, he has a lot of love songs. I'm gonna describe him, see if you can get who he is, right? All right, so he has a lot of love songs. He has long hair. Women love his hair. Is he actually an R&B artist? He might not even be an R&B artist because he kind of, he kind of
Post
switches
Malone.
back
I was
and
gonna
forth.
say Post Malone. Jesus. Never mind.
He switches back and forth a lot. Sometimes he's an R&B artist. Sometimes he's not. You know,
Chris Brown. He don't got long hair though.
long hair, long hair. Sometimes he's R&B. Sometimes he's not. Thank you for the faves.
Sometimes he's R&B. Sometimes he's not. He has long hair. Does he put it in a bun? I really only know this man with long hair if he put it in a little man bun. But
But look, I'm gonna tell you guys right off the jump, you're not gonna get it.
okay, yeah, tell me about him
You're
because
not
I
gonna
don't.
get it. We're talking about Jesus Christ, y'all.
Okay.
Jesus Christ. Bye. And the reason why I say this is because this question has to do with R&B and gospel music, right? So we know that R&B derived from gospel too, because most R&B artists started in church, right?
Hmm.
Mario, you could Mario cut his hair though. You remember that video? He cut his hair. Was like, yeah, I'm fresh to death now. But so one thing with R&B, they always, gospel always bash R&B artists because of what they talk about in the music, because it's unholy and it doesn't follow the commandments and all those different things, right?
Right.
Lovely. How do you feel about them using R&B samples with church music?
I feel like God knew we was gonna be creative, and I feel like as long as it's not done in a way to dis disrespect God or that it sounds like blasphemy. Because I've heard one mix that sound like I don't know if we should put those two songs together, but yeah, I feel like it's good because it's about creativity. I feel like God understands creativity, and the gospel. Some of the gospel people should understand creativity because some switch from gospel to R&B, and some R&B go to gospel. So it's hand in hand, you know.
Exactly, exactly. Um, did Jesus listen to?
I know I
Look,
love that.
Jesus, of course, Jesus listened to music. You know, they had drums and flutes and stuff going on. This is the thing. If you created it, you probably listened to it, right? You know, harps and stuff like that. I feel that. Okay, royalty, we come with the harps. Um, so one thing is like, what's going viral these days is a lot of churches are oh, I love Music Soul Child. A lot of churches are using R&B songs and they're just changing the words and putting like Jesus references in them in order to try to capture people, better,
I love
I've heard some recently and I'm like, okay, well, the lyrics are good, but why don't you use your own song? Why are you it's like a gimmick, like, hey, let's get them in the door any way we can, like, hey, there's food in here. Like, you tell somebody there's food there, they probably gonna show up. So if they hear that a church is lit, that they got gospel rappers are lit, and gospel rappers is a new thing too. They didn't used to want people to do that. And it's like, yeah, gospel rapping, praise dancing has become more popular these days also, you know. Oh yeah,
I also say
I only
Kirk
know one
Franklin
Kirk
did it.
Franklin song.
Yeah,
I
he
only know one.
explained why he did it because like he said that he wanted to bring in youth and like so that they have something to listen to and something to like bump in their cars or whatever. And like I don't frown upon that because God says make a joyful noise unto the Lord. He didn't say make a joyful Christian non cuss word, non beat noise unto the Lord. You know what I mean? He said make a joyful noise, and you know that's all you gotta do. So I feel like
Mhm.
it brings people into the right place sometimes, you know. And I praise
And
them too
most
to
artists
Kirk
praise
Franklin.
people. But what's up, bro? Simona B. Um, there's so many videos that you can watch where you're like, all right, well, is this bad or is this good? But when artists win rewards, the first person they think is God. A lot of them are active members in their churches, and they do give their respects to God. They wouldn't have their gifts if it wasn't for Him. It's not a God show or nothing like that. We're not going to go off on a tangent about that. But the thing between R&B and gospel is it started together. Look at Little Richard. Little Richard is the inventor of rock and roll, and he was R&B and he was pop. And he would sing in church, and they would kick him out of the church. They would call him a devil and everything like that. But then when he won awards, who's the first person he's thinking? God. You know. So it's always kind of like a backdoor. You know what? We don't know though, King. We don't know. We don't know if he listened to music or not. For sure, we weren't there. But a lot of those times they had flutes and different things playing. Somebody could have been singing at the Last Supper. Somebody sung around him. Where does gospel music come from? I actually have the history of gospel music, and I could give that to you if you wanted. But everybody, what's up? I'm 6'5" Mirror. Welcome to How Times Change. We got lovely Lydia here. And I got another one for you, ma'am. Um, do you feel okay, well, I kind of asked you that one. Let me reword it. What do you feel the new timeline of R&B is? Like what do you think is going to happen for R&B in the future? Like is it going to stay the same way it is or is it going to completely change?
Well, I feel like we went from like storytelling to like a phrase. So like we went from storytelling and like I'm triggered, so I'm make a whole song about being triggered. I feel like now it's really just gonna be like R&B is gonna be going back. I feel like we always revert because if you hear Noonie Long and all the people, they're starting to go more into back to storytelling. I feel like the Rain videos is gonna come back. Like, the rain,
Dancing,
the
grasping
singing,
at the air, you know,
yeah, the air, the
being on
flowiness
your
of
knees
stuff.
in the rain. Okay.
Yes, I feel like all that's gonna come back. So I just feel like it's gonna go back because everything's going back. We're going back to bell bottoms. I know it's not fashion right now, but we're going back to stuff, and everything's gonna go back to like being. We're gonna have 5 minute songs again, you guys. 5 minute song. I really feel like that. Oh, rap goes.
Rap goes back to storytelling. I feel that. One thing about music, and it always repeats itself. And you guys remember COVID, right? Everybody remembers COVID. What's one thing that was going on during COVID? There was no new music coming out. Everybody was using samples during COVID, so that's why the sample thing is going on so much these days, is because everybody was sampling. They couldn't make no new music, they weren't in the studio, so everybody just was clipping up little songs and making new versions of them. There's popular videos out right now where like women are driving with their old heads, and they're listening to an original version of the song, and they start singing the newer version. He's like, "Be quiet."
Yeah, I've seen that.
So yeah, songs are changing. You hear a song and you be like, man, you cannot think where you know this song from. And you just be like stuck on it. What's up? What's up? You be stuck on where do you know this song from? Most likely it came from a older version. I've heard songs where it's like, wow, they literally copied this whole song. All they did was like change a couple words.
Yeah.
Like, who did they pay for this? You know what I'm saying?
I've
Yeah.
had songs where it's like sneaky. It's like a sneaky, like, is that tempo? Where did I hear this tempo at? Like, like you hear it and you don't know where you heard it
Mhm.
from. So like I like that where you don't know where you heard it from. It sounds completely different. Whereas they just stole the song to me. It's rude.
All right. Let's talk hip hop aunties or R&B aunties in hip hop. Erica Badu, Mary J. Blige, the aunties, right? Them is the aunties, okay? TLC for sure. I love T Boz. She was married to my boy Mac 10. Shout out to Inglewood. Whoop. Um, you know, um, I love T Boz. India Irie, another good one. Lauren Hill, can't leave Lauren Hill out. Shout out to the Fugees also. Um, these people are considered like R&B royalty these days. Oh yeah, the late Lauren. You were rocking with the early Lauren. So who do you who since you do music, like who inspires you from like that group? Of the R&B aunties.
Mary J. Blige, when you start, I mean, Mary just all her songs, like you need them when you hear them. I feel like when I hear a Mary song, you need it when you hear it because she either uplifts you, she makes you fight harder, and that's what aunties are like. You don't let them kids talk bad about you. That's how Mary gives me. That's why I love Mary. She's my auntie.
Hey, I feel that. I feel that. Like I seen Mary in concert one time, very briefly, and I was like, man, she lit, boy. Like that's his auntie right there. Ashanti is out here looking crazy right now, and that's crazy good, not crazy bad. You know what I'm saying? I'm like Ashanti. Shout out to Ashanti right now. Um, Music Soul Child. What do you think about Music Soul Child?
I feel like he's a little bit. I don't know. The music is deep. I like deep music, but only sometimes. I can't get that deeper thought all the time. But I love him. I love him. He
Right.
does soothing.
See, I like Music Soul Child, and when I was living in Texas, something that I learned from my one of my coworkers, he was like, "Man, you throw some chop. They chop and screw everything. First off, he was like, you throw some chopped and screwed Music Soul Child on for somebody out here in Texas, them women gonna go crazy." And I thought he was lying. I thought he was lying until I seen it actually unfold in real person. And I'm like, Music Soul Child chopped and screwed. That's like a thing out here. Yes,
Oh
girls are throwing
yeah.
Girls are throwing their undergarments on the stage for some music soul child chopping screwed. So yeah, they busting it open just like
Cargo.
royalty in the comments for
Putting
sure.
cargo on them. I was crying.
All
That's
right,
no.
Lydia, do you feel well, before I ask that, do you have anything to contribute to the conversation? I always ask of R&B, the conversation of R&B.
All your questions are everything covered. I'm good. Yeah. I don't have anything to add. Okay, yeah.
All right. So, do you have music out right now?
No, not yet. I'm recording, but most of my songs are like shorter than like what I want them to be. I want to lengthen them because I'm trying to be the future R&B. Ain't nobody got time for 2 3 minute songs. You know, like I want my songs to be lengthy, long with meaning to them and substance.
Right. So, I actually forgot while we were talking about the king of R&B, right? Another name that was on the list that was overlooked, that a lot of people rock with, because I listen to him too, is Vito. You guys listen to Vito? Vito was definitely on the list. It's the yes with all the S's for me. Um, just started. I mean, Vito's new. I could feel like he could turn into a great artist. He pretty much did a lot of covers. T Rail's a good one. Um, Vito, he just he's a good cover artist. So let's hear some of his good music. We know that he could remix people's songs real good. So
Let's hear your original.
uh,
Yeah, that's why I don't agree with putting out a bunch of covers. I feel like it should be a good mix, like some of covers and then your music. You know.
yeah, because then people they don't really know what your range is. Then like if you can't really you don't have nothing that's your own catalog, what can you do? When we want to type in your name, we want to hear something that comes from your heart. We don't want to hear everybody else's music.
Definitely. Definitely.
Definitely, definitely. What's up, everybody? I'm 6'5" Mir. This is lovely Lydia. Make sure you guys hit her with a fave. Check her out. She's a newer streamer on the app. She's been streaming for about a year. She's outside making friends. So make sure you guys hit her with a fave. Um, and we gotta have you back, man. It was cool. Get you with a couple new artists. She gonna be in there. When we think about tag artists, when you guys think about artists, the people that sing on tag and rap on tag. She should be in the mix sooner or later, right? You gonna do some of those talent shows and stuff on the app. She's gonna be sending us the flyer soon, you guys.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So that concludes the show. We're done. We are done. But of course, before we get up out of here, anybody in the comments, anything to contribute to R&B today, we give everybody a chance. You know, going once, going twice. Oh, all right. Thank you guys for coming through. This has been How Times Change. Next week, we'll be starting. April, one of the best months that's out there because my birthday's in April. So, you know, shout out to the Taurus and everything like that. So, next week is Maya Angelou's birthday, right? So we will have a show about Maya Angelou, different poets. We're gonna come and we're gonna do some poetry stuff, you guys. So make sure you guys tap in next week and to see what kind of poets we're gonna have on the show. So mark the calendar. If you guys are interested in posting the flyer and everything, make sure you go tap my name, add me on Instagram, and I'll definitely send you guys out the flyer and keep you updated with the shows. Right now we're booked out 3 weeks, so if anybody's looking to be on the show, it'll be like mid April. So definitely, tap in. It's a pleasure having you, for sure, for sure. You know, she said she got to get all bombed and come up to here, checked out some of the 90s looks and everything. You know, any birthday plans? I do not know yet. We will find out. You know, we will definitely find out. Thank you. Appreciate that.
I'll see you guys in the
Um,
place. Yeah.
yeah, thank you for coming.
Thank you.
All right, you guys. So, damn, we here. We here. We did R&B. We done hip hop and we done R&B. Well, we did a show for the anniversary of hip hop, so we're probably gonna have to run it back in general. What's up, Polly? You know, I appreciate everybody coming and being great supporters of the show. We're gonna continue to do this success that we're already on. If you guys have any different topics that you feel like we should talk about on the show, remember, we have a wide range of things we could talk about: past, present, future, social norms, technology, pop culture. We could pretty much do almost anything on here. You know, we have certain subjects we could talk about, certain subjects we can't talk about. So if we can't talk about it, I'll let you know. So just DM me those you know, topics that you want to see on the show, and we're gonna take care of that. All right, make sure you guys favor everybody in the comments, and we up out of here. Thanks for the hearts too. I'm gonna stay dangerous. We don't be safe. We stay dangerous.